Good morning, everybody. Quickly got everything clicked over and set up for me to see if there's any comments. I'm not really expecting today. There wasn't on my other group at all. Hardly anybody's out and about paying attention to Derek today, which is fine. I don't want to be doom and gloom. I promise I don't want to be doom and gloom. But without making this political, yesterday there was a lot of jobs lost. There's a lot of things being signed into law that are the foundations being set for the continuation of money just being printed like it grows on trees. They're anticipating that this $1,400 per person stimulus that President Biden is now wanting to. I thought it was funny yesterday during his inauguration. Or when they were swearing him in, they actually called him Biden because they almost called him Obama, and that made me laugh. But anyway, but literally they're saying this is like a 12 to 18% of what we're going to get over the next 12 months. How freaking scary is that? We're going to get free money handed to us over the next 12 months. Why would anybody want to go to work? I mean, like literally, if it's $1,400 per person in my household, that's $7,000. And if that, let's just say that's 10%, then that means that's going to happen 9 more times. That's like 96 grand over a year. There's no reason for me to want to work. And how are we going to pay for it except for just continuously printing money? So, like I said, I really don't want to turn this into politics. So I'm not, by switching this to, in order to get through this, in order to have a stream of money where you're not reliant upon others, you're really going to need to get a business. If you don't have one, get one. If you do have one, make sure you have a strong foundation. If you have a strong foundation, get ready because it's going to be rough. The last 12 months have been rough. It's not going to get any easier. So we're going to go through an entrepreneur.com article by Joyce Russell talking about failure and how to move forward and 10 strategies to do so. But first, I'm going to start with a quote that I got off a coffee mug that made me smile, but it's true. Making good decisions comes from experience, but experience comes from making bad decisions. So I kind of liken this to the fact that my daughter is, with what's going on, she's growing and learning and all that. And I really I've told her, part of a parent's job is to not totally protect you, but to let you make mistakes. We just want to minimize the hurt, more or less, or minimize the amount of mistakes that you're making, so that you're learning. But if you're not, if you're just, everything is always fine, and you're not hurting or making mistakes, then you're not learning at all. So that is definitely something I don't want my kids to do, is not hurt. I just want to, make them hurt a little bit, not a lot. Failure is part of moving forward. Richard Branson said, entrepreneurs should learn to embrace failure with open arms and deal with obstacles by breaking them down into smaller components. Then you can try to positively affect each part. You will face challenges and adversity, so recognize that dealing with these failures and setbacks is a part of moving forward. No one wants to fail, but thinking that you will fail is unrealistic. Take responsibility for your part in that failure so you can learn from it. Now, this is, I really like, a lot of these, like Richard Branson, he's a pretty successful billionaire. I like getting these notes from these rich people that are obviously have built not just one or two, but multiple businesses, have faced adversity and what they've done to got through it. And so I really like the way that he breaks it down. Is so many times we look at the macro and get overwhelmed at this huge problem in front of us, that if we break it down into micro, you can attack it a lot easier, which is where they coined the phrase, you may not win every battle, but you can win the war, because the war is macro and each battle is micro. Just be strategic in what you're attacking and how you attack it as a business from where your problems are. And and you will win the war. Introspection is key. After experiencing a setback, recognize that you will need some time to process what just happened to you, and then take the time to do this. It's hard to say how much that time may be, but you don't expect to be feeling perfectly fine the next day. It depends how big of an obstacle or failure you've experienced. So give yourself permission to realize this isn't going to fix itself immediately. Obviously, stop the bleeding, but then figure out a plan so you can tackle it. Take a break. Get out of the office. Do something fun. Go outdoors. Take a break from social media and give your mind that break. Everyone needs hobbies to be healthy, and it's hard to bounce back if you have nowhere to turn to when you're in pain. Reflect with trusted mentors. When you're experienced a failure, ask a trusted mentor for honest feedback. Good mentors will give you candid feedback, let you vent, and provide the support and encouragement to help you make positive steps forward. Be careful if your mentor doesn't just allow you to vent and blame others. That'll make you harder to take responsibility for yourself. Good mentors are going to redirect you and slap you in the face with the reality of you're in this position because you want to be a business owner, because you want to be the boss, because you want to be in charge. Now pull up your pants and let's fix it. It's okay to go through some crap. Everyone does, and you're going to come out fine on the other side. And if you have to take a few steps back to do it, then fine, take a few steps back to do it. But just don't give up. Keep moving forward. That's what I always say. Keep moving forward. Take the next step. Always be learning. Always be bettering yourself. Prepare yourself for these things that may be coming. Create lessons learned for the future. When making future decisions, think about the possible hurdles that will occur and plan for them, especially how you'll cope with these obstacles. We anticipate and that we'll run into problems and have contingency plans and actions and be ready for when these problems occur. Now, as an Amazon business owner, one of the biggest things that can occur, that does occur with people, is people will come and steal or hijack your listings on Amazon. A lot of times they're not from the United States because they feel they don't have to follow the U.S. rules and guidelines. And so they will literally buy slowly like 10 to 20 to 30 of your product. And then they'll create a listing of their own and they'll copy your word for word your listing. They'll copy and paste all your pictures. Literally, they will sell the exact same thing as you and act like they are you. And that's called hijacking your listing. And that's not against the law as long as you don't have a copyright. And so what I did last year is I paid some lawyers. I got our stuff copyrighted. Scarlet Arrow is copyrighted. No one can use it but me unless I give you written consent. It's going to, that's why I wear the hats. Obviously, we're preparing for a game this weekend, so I'm getting in my Chiefs mode. Tomorrow's Red Friday. We'll see what hat I wear tomorrow. I got my Super Bowl hat on today. Anyway, I'm prepared. If someone tries to hijack my listing, literally, I'm about a 5-minute phone call with Amazon, showing them that I have a trademark, showing them that I am the owner of Scarlet Arrow and that they are not, and they will immediately shut them down. There's no questions asked. They're going to have to prove to get it back out, and they're going to be stuck with all this product they bought of mine, and I'm not going to buy it back from them. No, you guys just lost money as well as made yourself look fools. What's in your control? Think about what you have under your control. If you have failed due to a lack of knowledge or skills, make a course of action, do some more reading, gain additional skills to position yourself for success in the future. Strategize about your plans for moving forward. How will you address these setbacks or obstacles? I'm constantly learning, and if you think when you graduated high school, graduated college, that you can throw your hat up in the air and I'm done learning for the rest of my life, then life has not slapped you in the face yet. The day you stop learning is the day you die. It's just the way it is. You can try to slow down learning, but literally, you're going to be learning every day, and you need to embrace it, and you need to tackle it and be excited about it. We barely even use a sliver of the percentage of what our brains are capable of. So let's try to max out what we can. Don't be too serious. If there's ever a time to have a sense of humor, this is it. Do something that'll make you laugh. Big, hearty laughs. This will clear your mind, even if it's just temporary, so that you can come back to the problem and refocus on it. Take risks. Be flexible and open-minded to trying new approaches. Some leaders become inflexible and cautious after failure, and this generally is not a good idea. Taking a risk is the leader's job and necessary for success. If you get paralyzed or take several steps back, then you're losing. You're letting whatever the problem is win over you. Figure out what it's going to be. Think outside. And I don't think taking risks is necessarily putting the company in danger, but it's thinking outside the box, getting untraditional, figuring out what it's going to be. If you're having staff issues, shut down for the day and take them out to lunch and give them a paid break. That nothing like a slap in the face of your workers of, you know what, you're giving me shit. I'm going to tell you I appreciate you. Oh crap, now I got to work harder for this guy. I didn't really want to. The power of a positive attitude. To be sure to keep a positive outlook at work, no matter how hard this may be. This is especially important if you're a leader. If your team just got taken off an important project, everyone is scared about their jobs. You need to demonstrate positive attitude. They will look to you for the guidance, and your calm demeanor will be critical in helping your team move forward. Even if you are your team, if you are a one-man entrepreneur and you and your team, or you and your spouse or your team, and you're just less than 5 people, if you are just a small team, even if you have to just convince yourself, if you need to get out of your office and get all your negativity in your car or at a park or somewhere away, that way when you're in your office, in your sanctuary for work, you keep only positive vibes here and you don't let the negativity creep in, because once it's there, it will take over. And once you let it take over once, then you're not going to leave ever again, because you're like, oh, I fought through it last time. It's not that big of a deal. And pretty soon you're just ho-hum. You're not full of positive energy. You're not full of energy at all. You've had all the energy sucked out of you, which is like a book that I like to refer to, which is an energy vampire that sucks all the positive energy out of you. Reflect, then reflect some more. Keep a learning journal. This is a way of reflecting on your progress and remembering what to do and what not to do in the future. And it's also something, guys, that you can go back to and say, I listened to this talk and this person referred to me to this. It's not always about your journey. It's sometimes about the people you meet along your journey and who you can bounce ideas off of, or where you can go back and restudy about certain topics. Something that is just a guide to help get you back on track to winning. So, again, I don't want to make this doom and gloom. This is not political, but the way that things are going, we knew when the election results came in that the Democrats have said all along that they're going to increase the stimulus. They're going to do a bunch of things that they're starting to do, and they're doing what they said they're going to do. If you're not planning for it, then that's on you. 2 biggest assets you can have are your business that you can grow, you can build, and you can get residual income for, grow up, grow out, grow as many ways as you can, and find a investment tool that has finite resources of. That they can't keep printing more of, like money. The value of the dollar is not the value of the dollar. Arm yourself with education. And I mean, when I say finite resources, I'm talking land, like real estate. I'm talking gold. I'm talking silver. I'm talking Bitcoin. I don't know much about all the other e-currencies that are out there and all the mining and all this other stuff. I think you can be taken for it. So just be careful and do your research. But there is a limited amount of gold. There is a limited amount of silver. There is a limited amount of land. There is a limited amount of Bitcoin. I know that those 4 things are limited. So research what you do before you jump into it. But find those things that are limited, that we can't get more of, because then the value, just basic supply and demand, is going to tell you the value is going to go up. And it's going to go up faster than anything else. And with money being printed as far as the dollar value is dropping, you're going to need that for you and your family. So God loves you. So do I. Have a great Thursday. We'll see you guys tomorrow. And get ready for this weekend that's coming up.